This is an SM Media production. Hello folks, and welcome to the opening edition of 1 to 11. This is the show where I ask a former player or a fan their all-time greatest team of players they've either played with or played against or saw live. This week I'm delighted to welcome Scott McLean, the former Kilmarnock player. Scott, how are you doing, mate?
I'm not bad, thanks very much for having me on.
No problem, thanks very much for coming on. We'll just basically get started. So, have you got a formation in mind?
I'm going to go with a 4-3-3.
Right, okay. And as well as that, is it going to be players you've played with or played against?
I'm going to go for players I've played against.
Right, okay. Sounds good. So we'll kick start with the goalkeeper. Who would you have in your goalkeeper?
Goalkeeper, I'd have to go Craig Gordon, I think.
Was he at Celtic when you played against them?
Yeah, he was a Celtic goalie. The vast majority of this team could be Celtic players, to be fair, because that season they were very, very good.
Was that the Invincible season now?
It might have been. Yeah, that was the season after.
Right.
So their team wasn't bad.
Did you have any shots in them?
No.
Nah, didn't get near him.
Wasn't lucky enough. Couldn't get near him. Playing against Virgil.
Virgil, that must have been amazing though, playing against him.
Aye, he might manage to get in it.
Aye, I'd imagine so. Right, second position, we'll go with right back.
Right back. I'm going to say Callum Patterson when he was at Hearts.
All right, okay.
He played right back, and I don't know whether it was because I was a young boy or not. It was a season they actually went down
To Cardiff.
So, no, it was the season they got relegated.
They went down, right? Okay, right. Okay.
It was a lot of their boys were playing with the first team, so they were getting the first team experience. But I was I'd have been 15 or 16 at the time.
Really?
And I was playing. It was a Youth Cup semi-final at Tynecastle, so I played against him there. And he'd played on the Saturday and then played again the Sunday and that, and he was I couldn't get near him.
Just a fat player.
Aye, he was a monster. He was like 6'2", 3", just a really, really big boy. He was an athlete, but he could also play, so he was a tough opponent.
As well as that, he went down south and played like centre midfield. I think he played up front a couple of times for Cardiff as well, so he did have that kind of mentality as well.
Aye, he played in the hole, played with the number 10 down there.
No, that's good though, especially if he's a young age. Like, could you see then that he could do things like that? Like, could you see then what he would go on to be?
To be fair, when he was there, I didn't think he'd have stayed at Hearts.
Oh, really?
When he went down, I thought he'd probably merited a move that season, because he played a number of positions that year as well. He played as a striker, played right back, but I thought on his day he was very, very good, and he probably merited a move before he did actually get his move.
Mm-hmm. Good. And we'll go on to the third one, left back.
Left back, I'm going to say Kieran Tierney.
Right.
Played against him a good few times at under 20s level. Never played against him at first team. It was Izagiri that played that night.
Right.
But I'm going to go Kieran Tierney just for the fact that just an all-round good player. Very, very tough in the tackle. Can get forward, can defend, can play. He's strong. Just an all-round, very, very good player.
And could you see, when he was at that age, just how quickly he grew into that Celtic team as well? I think he played twice that kind of the first season he kind of broke in, and then once for there he was never out of the team. Could you see that that was his club? That was where he would.
I'll be honest. I played against him at 20s level, and he never when he was at 20s, he was never really a standout.
Right.
If you get me.
Yeah.
It was as if it all just clicked and changed overnight for him. And he went from like there to there very, very quickly.
And now, do you think that like he's going to get a bigger move than Arsenal because his fitness as well? We saw like before the kind of lockdown, his fitness was kind of keeping him back, but now he's kind of grew in. He's probably the best Arsenal player after the restart. So, do you think the kind of sky's the limit for him?
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say since he's come back from lockdown, don't know whether it's mentality or not, but he's completely changed his game, and he's upped it. And I would agree. I'd say he was probably Arsenal's best player for the last kind of 5-6 games.
Future Scotland captain?
Oh, I don't know.
Right, first centre half.
I'm gonna go. In terms of tough to play against, Scott McLean.
All right, okay.
Scott McLean was very, very tough to play against. But again, I think it was his presence, his sheer size. He's strong, good in the air, could play. He used to stroll at under 20s level. He used to like it was like a training game. To be fair,
he's just a defender, isn't he? Just defend first and then the rest later.
Aye, that's it. It's not about pretty football for him.
No.
It was more a case of if he gets a clean sheet, then it's up to the forward players to win the game for him. Mm-hmm. But 9 times out of 10, he did his best to get a clean sheet, and they did do it a good few times against us.
Yeah, was that like Aberdeen team as well? Like, were they a few of them come through that like kind of team, didn't they? Like Bruce Anderson as well. Like, were they decent?
Aye, they were a good side. They Scott Wright, Frank Ross, Bruce Anderson, Scott McKenna. Who else would have played? Can't mind the wee boy Campbell.
All right, okay.
He played a few times, but they were a good side. They were a really good side.
And we're going on to the second centre half. I think you've already probably mentioned them. We talk about kind of good in the air, good with the ball at his feet. He's probably one of the top players in the world right now. Would you agree with that?
I think he merits just about merits to get in the team.
Was that a hard choice? Was there other options like before Virgil went in? Or?
Nah, there's nobody, and I'm not just saying it. I'm a big Liverpool fan, but to say I've played against Virgil van Dijk is something that I'll always hold close to me. Like, he's
one of those things you can tell the kids, isn't it?
He's a phenomenon. He's by far the best player, and I'd say the best player in the world now.
Aye, I would say definitely defender is the best defender. But you just look at it as well, like you could see at Celtic, he was just so far in front of anybody up here. And then obviously going to Southampton, the move to Southampton obviously done him the world of good. And then he gets that big move to Liverpool, and he's the heart and soul of that team.
Oh, definitely.
You could say as well they won a league because he's there.
Aye, well he's like a colossus at the back. Him and Joe Gomez, I think they two suit each other very, very well. And obviously that Joe Gomez, he's a lot younger, so he's going to come on leaps and bounds with playing with him. Yeah,
definitely. We'll move on to centre midfielders. You've got 3 to choose from. Who's the first one?
I'm going to go Stefan Johansson.
Okay.
He was at Celtic as well, but he was just frightening. Mm-hmm. See, with like technical ability on the ball, could play a pass without like effortless, as if he wasn't even trying. And then obviously he moved into Fulham, and he done very well down there.
Yeah.
In the Premier League, so
he's back in the Premier League again now.
Yeah, so I'd definitely say that he's in there.
Yeah, he's player of the year up here as well, so can't argue with that. That's a great selection. Second mid, who you got in second midfield position?
I'm going to go for. This will be a strange one. He's not just I'm not saying he's the best player I've played against, but with the way his career's going now, I can see him going on to have a fantastic career, and it's the boy Alan Campbell at Motherwell. He's somebody, when you played against him at under-20s or whatever it was never a standout. He never got the recognition he deserved, probably.
Yeah.
But now he's, like, you're seeing stories about him all the time, the Motherwell managers saying how he wishes he could have 11 Alan Campbells in his team and stuff. So that just speaks volumes for him and how much he's progressed.
Yeah, as well as that, like, when kind of last season we were hearing about Turnbull going to Celtic, Hastie went to Rangers, it was probably Campbell that was the most consistent out of the three of them, like the three that came through that Motherwell team. So he looks the part anyway, and he looks like he's going to go on leaps and bounds.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say, especially last season, he started this season. I don't think he started the first 2 games or something like that, but since then he's kicked on. I've seen a couple of comments from his manager saying that he's a player that he looks up to, and he wishes other players were like him as well.
Yeah, he looks good. He look, as well as that, he's Scottish as well. Like, we're crying out for midfielders in the Scotland team, so hopefully he breaks through there as well. Like,
I know, no, that'd be very, very good to see that.
Yeah. And third midfielder, let's close out the midfield.
I'm going to go for Scott Brown.
Right.
Just for his presence in there. I think his career speaks for itself.
Yeah.
He's been at Celtic for I don't know how many years, but he's never won. Obviously, heard the talk, he's maybe getting too old or his legs are away, but he comes back every season and proves people wrong. And I think when we played against him, he didn't dictate it. I'd have said Johansson was more dictating, but you could tell just with his presence in the middle of the park that he was influential on the game. In that sense, it wasn't like pinging passes, it wasn't 60-yard diags or anything like that. It was just, you knew he was there. He was there to do his job, and he done it well. His
leadership as well, like captain for 10 seasons. He's been kind of the heart and soul of that Celtic team. He's went through. This is the kind of third manager as well. Like, he's been the mainstay of that team. Like, Strachan signed him in 2006, I think it was. Like, he's been there. Aye. He's seen it all, done it all, innit? Like, you can't really say much more about that.
But I know. No, he's done very well.
Right wing.
I'm going to go Marcus Rashford.
Really?
Yeah. Obviously, his career now he's took that to a complete new level.
Yeah.
But I played against him. I would have been 13 or 14. Obviously, I was really, really young then, but we played them down in Repton. It was called the Man United tournament, to be fair. So we played them down there, and they were a joke. We get beat 3-1. I scored. So I'll take that. But he was one player after the game. When we got our team sheets through, I kept a wee eye out for him because he was different class to anybody. Like, it was as if he could have played with his flip-flops on.
Really?
It was that easy.
Yeah, look, he speaks for himself, doesn't he? He's been kind of main man at Man United for the past couple of seasons. You can argue as well, like, although Man United have kind of, they're slowly getting there, back to where they kind of need to be, like, they're getting to a top four and that, but he's been the kind of mainstay.
Yeah, definitely. He's been, and obviously, it's not so much what he, obviously playing against him and stuff like that is what he does in the pitch, but away from the pitch, he does a lot of work.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So it just shows, it speaks volumes for him as a person as well, rather than just a footballer.
Totally, yeah. We'll go with left wing as well.
Left wing, I'm going to go Harry Wilson.
The guy at Liverpool.
Boy at Liverpool. He was in loan at Bournemouth last year.
Yeah.
He was very, very good. We played Liverpool in a friendly down at Liverpool, and we get beat 5-1, to be fair. and he played, and he was scary good.
Yeah.
Just his left foot. He actually played right wing that day.
All right.
But you could tell, obviously, you hear the old cliche, like, show him on his weaker side, but he didn't have a weak side. It was just, so it was, if you showed him inside to people, he would go in and bump it off the striker, or he would go in and he would take a couple of people on. He showed him down the line. He was strong, he was quick, he could knock it by you, he could cross it with his right foot. He could do anything, and I think last season at Bournemouth, shows that. Scored a couple of free kicks, scored one against Man City.
It was a wonder goal, wasn't it? It was class.
So I'd definitely say he's in there.
Yeah, he was a big player in that Derby team as well that nearly went up with Lampard. So
yeah, I mean, he was very good there as well.
He's going to get better. And the thing is, he's English as well, so he's going to get the
Welsh.
He's going to get some Welsh. He's Welsh, right? But he looks the part, especially Liverpool now. Like, he'll probably maybe break into Liverpool, but he'll get a big move somewhere. Like,
well, that's the thing. See, being down south, if you play with a big club, say you're the kind of top 4 clubs, so you're Liverpool, Man United, Man City now, but you're talking maybe Chelsea, Arsenal as well, so top 5. Yeah. If you're with them up to the age of 21, 22, you're going to merit a move somewhere.
Yeah.
You're going to have a career in football, I think.
And we've seen that with like Jordan Ibe as well, like 15 million to Bournemouth. Like they players do go for big money. Like a lot of the times they don't live up to the hype, but it's very, very hard to, especially. But if you've got the talent, you're going to play at a top level in England.
Oh, definitely. And I think England's it's far superior to the Scottish football.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously money's a massive part of it, but down there you can play under 23s or whatever it is, reserves 23s for 2-3 seasons, and your value goes for, I don't know, maybe 200-300 grand to 2-3 million.
Yeah.
If you're with a top club. So I think some players down there don't merit the moves. I believe that to be worth in the millions, you've got to actually be worth it. And at least I've played, but down there it's different. You don't play. The boy Solanke didn't play at Chelsea really. Merited the move to Liverpool for however many millions it was. So I think down south it's a completely different environment.
It's a different ball game as well. Like, it's that these players will always go for money because they're English, and the English market is frightening now. We've seen with the TV money as well how much it's taken off. But right, we'll close that as well with the position I'm kind of most interested to find out who you've got in there. It's a striker.
This will probably surprise a few people. A striker, I've played against Griffiths, played against John Guidetti, played against a good few. But I'm going to say J. Emmanuel Thomas.
All right, okay.
I played against him. He was at QPR. And I played against him. But I'm going to say he's 6'4" or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Big guy.
Yeah.
But for the size of him, his technique, his ability, he could finish, he could hold a bus up. I think he was massive. He was just all round like world class.
Yeah.
Left foot, right foot, score with his head, hold people off, link the play, running behind. He was quick as well. I only played against him once, but he always sticks in my mind as a top player.
There was big talk of him as well, but he's never really kind of lived up to that. Like, remember when like England ones he was kind of playing, he stuck out. Like, it was him and maybe Ravel Morrison as well. I think were the 2 players that were kind of sticking out that team, but both of them never really lived up to the hype, and I always kind of wondered that because he did look a big kind of physical threat, and he just looked. He was a good finisher as well. Like, I think it was at Arsenal.
Definitely.
Was it Arsenal like to start with?
I think he started his career at Arsenal,
Aye.
and then I think he got a move. I don't know where it was, Sheffield United or not. He got a move somewhere, and then he worked his way. He was at QPR when I played against him. But I think he's been a bit of a journeyman, to be fair to him.
Aye.
But he's definitely he's different class as a player. He was unreal.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's been a great 1-11. I think that team would probably give any team a game, to be honest. Thanks very much for doing that, mate. Really appreciate it.
No, not a problem. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.